Hello and a warm welcome to Well This Week by latestlaws.com. This is a weekly program, so hit the bell icon to get notification for new videos. My name is Sheetal Joon, Associate Editor, latestlaws.com, and let's begin with Supreme Court this week. This week, the Supreme Court dismissed petition to open the sealed doors of the ancient monument of Taj Mahal and thus trashed the demand for scientific proof to establish that the 17th century structure was indeed built by the Mughal Emperor Shah Jahan. The Apex Court also quashed the National Green Tribunal's ruling, which was based on precautionary principle and gave green signal to the Uttar Pradesh government's decision to grant license to new wood-based industries. The division bench comprising of Justice B.R. Gavai and Justice B.V. Nagaratna was of the view that NGT have jurisdiction to apply the principle, but noted that one principle cannot be applied in isolation of the other and pointed out omission of principle of natural justice in the ruling. The three-judge bench of the Supreme Court, headed by Chief Justice U.U. Lalit and comprising of Justice S. Ravindra Bhatt and Justice P.V. Narasimha, has observed that State Cricket Association's claim for income tax exemption on the ground of charitable purposes under Section 215 of the Income Tax Act would require deeper scrutiny as to ascertain whether its activities adhere to general public utility definition or not. Shedding light on the intertwined relationship shared by the BCCI and the State Cricket Associations, the court prima facie hold that the receipts generated by their activities are actually business receipts. The top court has held that the provision of Section 173(8) Criminal Procedure Code do not limit or affect powers of the High Court to pass an order under Section 482 Criminal Procedure Code for further investigation or re-investigation if it is satisfied that such a course is necessary to secure the ends of justice. The division bench, comprising of Justice U.U. Lalit and Justice Bila M. Trivedi, observed that court granting an interim bail on medical ground may have the benefit of examining the inmate by a medical board consisting of 4 medical professionals. Next, we have Delhi High Court. The single-judge bench of the Delhi High Court has stated that in cases where there is no need for urgent interim reliefs, the rigor of Section 12A Commercial Courts Act for pre-institution mediation is mandatory and there is no discretion in the hands of the court to exempt the plaintiff from the same. The Delhi High Court has held that nothing stops the court to put an end to a frivolous litigation at any stage. It is the duty of the court to ensure that illegal and unauthorized litigants are not given an opportunity to misuse or abuse the process of law. The court do not have the luxury to continue with the litigation which are frivolous on its face merely because certain procedure motions have to undergo, the court observed. The Delhi High Court, while upholding the lifetime imprisonment of 2 men in a 2014 acid attack case, held that under the Indian Penal Code, the word acid does not only refer to substances which are scientifically termed as acids, but also include all those which have acidic or corrosive or burning nature and are capable of causing scarring or disfigurement and temporary or permanent disability. In relief to Natural Ice Cream, a popular ice cream brand, the Delhi High Court has granted them ex parte injunction against NIC Natural Ice Cream and restrained the latter from infringing the trademark Natural. Now let's have an overview of other high courts. The Uttarakhand High Court has held that any dispute regarding the title of the land can only be adjudicated in a civil court and leave it open to the petitioner to approach the civil courts to have its title dispute settled. The Punjab and Haryana High Court, in case of Kumar Vishwas's proactive interview with news channel ANI involving imputation regarding involvement of AAP's national convener CM Arvind Kejriwal with certain nefarious and antisocial elements, has quashed the FIR and held that the disruption of the investigation shall not constitute the stifling of investigation. The Karnataka High Court has ruled that non-matching DNA samples would not absolve a crime accused since it is only collaborative evidence, and accordingly dismissed petition of a bus conductor accused of raping and impregnating a 12-year-old relative seeking quashing of the case. The Orissa High Court reduced the sentence of the appellant on account of his clean conduct for the past 33 years. While addressing some important question of law, the court acknowledged that the contradictions in the FIR and the subsequent version have to be borne in mind while evaluating the complexity of the accused. The court held that it is a triad in law that FIR is not an encyclopedia but it is an information given at the first instance. The Rajasthan High Court, while allowing petition for protection of a widowed man and a woman who were having a live-in relationship, held that privacy and liberty of individuals can't be infringed by taking laws into own hands. The court opined that if there is allegation of violation of law, then legal recourse should be adopted. If a married woman is asked to do household work for the family, the same cannot be equated to work of a maid servant and would not amount to cruelty, the Aurangabad bench of the Bombay High Court said while quashing a case lodged by a woman against her estranged husband and his parents for domestic violence and cruelty. Moving on to miscellaneous news. Ministry of Corporate Affairs is likely to soon withdraw a large number of court cases that are going on in various courts in different cities across India. The ministry has shortlisted 11,000 cases against companies that they will withdraw from the courts due to lack of response. The Supreme Court is scheduled to hear on October 31st a petition seeking to establish special anti-corruption courts in every district to decide cases related to various economic offences like money laundering and tax evasion within 1 year. Observing that calling a girl item and touching her hairs would amount to outraging her modesty and shall be punishable under Section 354 IPC, a special court has sentenced a 25-year-old businessman from Mumbai to 1.5 years of imprisonment in a sexual harassment case. Issuing slew of directions regarding feeding of stray dogs, the Nagpur bench of the Bombay High Court has held that the citizens who pose themselves as sympathizers and friends of stray dogs are responsible for authorities failing to keep check on the nuisance created by the dogs. The division bench observed that such people are unmindful of the great harm that they are doing to the society and advised that if they are really care about the dogs, they should adopt them and then take proper care of them. The Supreme Court is scheduled to hear on October 31st a plea seeking direction to the centre and states to publish draft legislation prominently on government websites and in the public domain at least 60 days before they are introduced in Parliament and state assemblies. And the last, we have international news. A Pakistani court observed that Imran Khan was not barred from contesting elections in the future as it heard the disqualification case of the ex-Prime Minister by country's top election body. In a landmark ruling, the Employment Court of New Zealand has declared 4 Uber drivers as proper employees of the company, paving way for other countries to follow the suit and force the ride-hailing giant to treat the drivers as employees rather than independent contractors. Elon Musk has taken over Twitter, wrapping up his $44 billion acquisition deal of the network after over 6 months of public and legal wrangling over the deal. In the first move, he has fired the top management, including CEO Parag Agarwal and Head of Legal Policy and Trust Vijay Gade. Thank you for watching and have a nice day. This is a weekly program, and to get more information, please check the description box, and for weekly updates, like and subscribe to our channel.